Welcome back to Inside Politics. We're talking with former Nashville Congressman Bob Clement. He's written a book that's out and available now called Presidents, Kings, and Convicts. Bob, you never ran for governor a second time.
No, I didn't. It just wasn't in the cards, and maybe it could have been. But then I really enjoyed serving as congressman from the 5th Congressional District, and I sort of looked at myself as congressman at large because I handled constituent complaints from Mountain City to Memphis.
You wound up deciding to try to go to the Senate. That was not successful. Do you ever have any second thoughts about leaving the House? Because you probably could still be congressman today.
And you kind of say that, and I felt like we had a good record, but I felt like it was time, if I was ever going to run for the U.S. Senate, or to run at that time. But I think there are chapters in your life, Pat, and you just make the most of every chapter. And sure, I pointed out in the book too, you can second guess what I could have done or should have done or all that. That's wasted time. So I like to look ahead rather than look behind.
One of the things you did do in your life that people might find different because of the other parts of your public service was to be a college president. You basically reinvigorated Cumberland University, which was about to go under when you became president. But being a college president was something you thought about even at a young age, right? That's something you wanted to. At a young age,
as a student at the University of Tennessee in Knoxville, I used to tell my buddies, I'd like to be a college president one day. Did
you tell Andy Holt that when you were up at UT?
Yeah. And Andy Holt, gosh, he used to take me fishing and all that. A great president, too. And so what I did was, when that opportunity presented itself, and I was chosen by the board to be their college president, and I moved Cumberland from a 2-year to a 4-year college and got it fully accredited, and tripled the private gifts to the university and doubled the educational income. But it was a great experience, and Dr. Stum, who's the new president, is doing a great job taking it to a new level.
You left Cumberland to run for Congress. You served in Congress for 8 terms during a time of great transition. First of all, the Democrats lost the majority when you first got up there. And then Congress changed in how it operated itself. And you think that's one of the reasons Congress has so much problems today. First of all, they don't meet very often. They're not together very much.
Absolutely. We used to meet Monday through Friday. Now they fly in on Tuesday and leave on Thursday. And if I don't know you and you don't know me, we're darn well not going to work together to solve problems. And I knew, and others knew at that time, how to compromise and how to be a consensus builder. But you don't have conservative, moderate Democrats there anymore. You got the hard right Republicans and the liberal Democrats, but there's no one in between, and that hurts members being able to get together to solve problems.
What about money? Isn't money also a problem in terms of all the time they have to spend raising it all the time?
Money's a big problem, and we need to limit campaign spending. Give the average person the chance to run and win rather than the affluent and the wealthy being able to buy these elections rather than earning the elections.
In your book, you talk a lot about a concern in the future about young people wanting to be interested in politics. Why would a young person want to get into politics these days?
Well,
because it has such an awful reputation.
That's one of the reasons I wrote the book, Pat, is to encourage young people to run for public office. Don't shy away from it, because I see too many young people saying, well, everybody's crooked, everybody's bad, and all that, just over and over. My Aunt Annabelle made the greatest statement I've never heard anyone else say, and she was state senator from Crossville. Politics builds roads. Politics builds schools. Politics is compromise. But in the book, I try to get young people to consider public service as a career or an opportunity, or at least spend part of their life in public service, whether they be elected, whether they be appointed, or whether they volunteer.
Lots of people have gone to Washington to change it. Lots of presidents. President-elect Trump, will he be successful successful in changing Washington, will Washington wind up changing him?
Well, I hope he does a great job, and I want him to do a good job. The election is over. He's choosing these people now, and
But he's never
he'll-
served in public office. He's got a lot. It's a big learning curve.
That's a huge jump from never serving in elected office to being the most powerful person on earth as president of the United States, and I just hope he'll be diplomatic and be careful too about what he says, how he says it, particularly in the international community, because we only have 5% of the world's population in the United States, and you can send some wrong messages if you're not careful.
So what's left for Bob Clement? Another run for office still with you?
I'm not planning on running for any political office at all. I never say never either, Pat, all my life, but I've really enjoyed the process of writing this book and telling my story. If no one reads it but my children and my grandchildren and my family and friends, but I also wrote it for the American family. Because, as you know, in the latter part of the book, I talk about U.S. Congress and politics and U.S. policy, and that's important to me. And that's why, because I wanted to give recommendations about fixing Congress and fixing America, and so it's got a combination of all of it in the book.
Bob Clement, it's a good book, a good read. Thank you for coming on the show and talking about it.
Thank you, Pat. Great to be with you.
Good to have you here. And thank you for being with us on Inside Politics this week. Hope you'll be back here again for a future show. If you can't get enough politics in the meantime, go to the News Channel 5 website. You'll find my Capitol View commentary there. The Zoo commentary posted every Friday afternoon. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, and we'll see you back here next time. Goodbye.